Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something very special indeed in my eyes. We are looking at the 1968 release by Century 21 Publishing from their Gerry Anderson, Captain Scarlet, I'd say, and the Mysterons annual. And this particular one is being from 1968. And it was a 1968 annual, and it was a 94-page book. Which contained stories, comic strips, features, information and articles, all based around Captain Scarlet, the Mysterons, and of course, Spectrum. Okay, so this is the book in front of us, and it is a large A4 type annual, a little bit bigger than A4 actually, but this is the front of the cover, and it says Gerry Anderson, Captain Scarlet Annual, and there you can see an image of Captain Scarlet himself. And at the bottom, you can see Captain Scarlet driving his Spectrum Saloon car. Okay, that's the front of the annual. Let's just spin it round and see what we got on the back. And on the back, you can see you've got the Angel Interceptor flying overhead. And you've got the Spectrum Patrol Vehicle, or the SPV, driving over the mountain tops there. Again, all artwork images. So that's the front and back covers. Let's just have a very quick look at the spline. And there you can see it says Captain Scarlet Annual. That's all it says on there. But obviously it's in very good condition, as you'd expect. Okay, let's open it up and have a look on the inside. Okay, so I've opened the annual up, and this is inside the front cover. And you've got the index there, which says Spectrophile Targets, which is International Engineering, the Northern Hemisphere, Calipore, Colonel White, Atlantic Tunnel, London, and the New Houston Oil Depot. Stories: We Are the Mysterons will cause a germ war throughout Earth. We Are the Mysterons will destroy world peace. Features: Counterpoint 7 Part 1, Spectrofun, Spectrum Research SPJ, Captain Black, Spectrum Research Saloon Car, Spectrum Claims Subsecurity, Spectrum Research SPV, Operation Jigsaw, Spectrum Research Helijet, Spectra Scan, Counterpoint 7 Part 2, Spectrum Hovercraft, Spectrofun, Spectrum Research MSV, Spectrofun, Counterpart 7 Part 3, Spectrum Research Angel Craft. And on the bottom left hand side, you can see published by Century 21 Publishing Limited and City Magazines Limited, 1968, Association Television Overseas Limited, printed and bound in England by Gerald and Sons Limited, Norwich. And in the bottom right hand corner, you can see the price, which was 12 and 6 or 62.5 new pence. And at the very top, there was a name which was wrote on the top there in pen, which says Gerry, which has been tried to be rubbed out, but obviously it's in pen, so it's not. So there we go. Let's turn over. So there we have the spectrification for the Spectrum Helijet. And there's a little article there, the secret workshop of international engineering, the whereabouts of which cannot be revealed for security reasons. Interesting. Okay, and then we come on to the very first story, which is The Mysterons Will Destroy International Engineering's Workshop, which is a full comic strip story in colour. Then we come on to Lunar Point 7, which is all agents must identify the 9 pictures printed below and answer the questions posed on each one. All questions must be answered and 100% efficiency is required. Here we go. Spectrofun, comedy images. Spectrum Research, which is memo from Viridian to Colbat. In order to increase spectrum efficiency, the combat Mysteron threat research development must be made on the SPJ. Increased speed is vital. Then there's the SPJ craft. Then we have an image of the SPV. And again, station Station 90, a remote world army outpost in northern Greenland. And that brings us on to the next story, which is we on the Mysterons will destroy the entire northern hemisphere, which again is a full artwork, comic strip story with colour images, coloured comic strip. And there's your bio on Captain Black and how he became the Mysteron agent. And there's we are the Mysterons will cause a germ war throughout Earth. And that is a story with full photographic images, full colour photographic images, which are all taken obviously from the television show. A black and white image on that side there. A Spectrum Research again there, which is on the SPV. And sorry, not the SPV, the SSC, the Spectrum Saloon car. And then we got the Spectrum Clam Sub, which is the cutaway section, so you can see the actual item itself. And then we have the Spectrum Angel Interceptor. And then we're on to the next story, number 35, Indian Command Ammunition Depot. A heavy truck backs into a loading bay with its latest delivery. Steady as you go. And that brings us on to the next story, which is We the Mysterons will destroy Caliper, which again is a comic strip story, full colour comic strip story. It runs for a few pages. And then we go on to Spectrum by the Spy Who Cracked It, which again is a I'm assuming that's a story. Yes, it is. This is a full story. Again, it's with photographic images from the TV series. And again, another image of the SPJ, the Spectrum Jetliner, Spectrum Jetliner, which takes us on again to the next comic strip story, which is in 6 hours. The Mysterons we the Mysterons will assassinate Colonel White, I should say. And again, that is a full comic strip story, which runs for a few pages. Then we got Signs of Fun, and then we got another Spectrum Research, which I think is on the Jet Power Pack, which is in the back of Captain Scarlet there. Then we've got Operation Jigsaw, and is that Captain Brown? Yeah, I think that's Captain Brown. We the Mysterons will destroy world peace, which is a full story with again images from the TV show. Spectrum Research, which is on the Helijet, as you can see in that image there. And then we've got a cutaway image of the Spectrum hovercraft. And then we've got the Spectrum Cloud Base, which takes us into another story, which is We the Mysterons will use Wallace Simpson to flood the Atlantic Tunnel. Again, it's a comic strip story in full colour. And then we're on to, oops, I'm dropping off the edge again there. Sorry about that. We're on to Guna Point 7, which again is all information and articles on the characters of Spectrum. Let's just move over the next page, and we've got the radar van, the Spectrum radar van, which again is a cutaway image so you can see inside. Spectra Fun, and then Spectrum Research, which is on the Maximum Patrol vehicle, or Maximum Security vehicle I should say, the MSV. And there's a big image of the MSV there. I like that one particular vehicle. And I think that leads us on to the next comic strip story, which is Tomorrow Morning, as Big Ben chimes, the City of London will be destroyed, which is another comic strip story, full colour comic strip story. And that takes us on again to Spectra Fun, Guna Point 7. I'm sorry about this, but my book keeps slipping down off of the ball for some reason. I'll look at that in a moment. And then we're on to the Spectrum Research again. And that is on the Angel Strike Force. And there we've got the Spectrum saloon car. And we got We the Mysterons will destroy the new Houston oil depot, which again is another full comic story in full colour again. And I think that brings us to the end of the annual. There we are. And right at the end of the annual, you've got an image of all of the Spectrum team. So you've got Captain Magenta, Captain White, Captain Grey, Captain Scarlet, Captain Blue, Captain Ochre, not Brown, Captain Ochre he is. And you've got Melody, Rhapsody, Harmony, and Melody, Rhapsody, Harmony. I can't remember the other angel name, and Colonel White. Okay, so that is the annual. So how well did these annuals do back in the day? Well, as you're very well aware, back in the 60s, there was no such thing as videos and DVDs. So if you have missed your favourite television programme, tough. If you wanted to see it, you then had to wait for a rerun because there was no other way of being able to watch it if you didn't see it when it was first broadcast. And quite often, reruns didn't happen. They did tend to happen with kids' programme, I'll be honest with you. So if you did miss Captain Scarlet, they did have a tendency to rerun these quite a few times. Saturday morning television was all for kids back in the 60s and 70s, and they used to rerun programmes that had already been shown. So you would have had the opportunity to see it again. You just have to wait. So it might have been a couple of years, 2 or 3 years before they rerun them. But in order to keep you enthusiastic about the television show, they did release merchandise like the annuals. There was one released each year, usually around about September, October time, sometimes November, so they were in time for the Christmas rush, because pretty much every kid had a annual of some degree, at least one in their Christmas stocking for their favourite television programmes. So the annuals were very, very big during the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s. They're not as popular today as they were back then. Obviously, you've got access to your television programmes 24/7 these days. You can download whatever you want, stream them, do whatever you like. They're available everywhere. So yeah, but it was very different back in the time when these were released, hence the reason why things like annuals and activity books were very, very big selling items. There wasn't a great deal of merchandise again produced for Captain Scarlet back in the 60s. There was, Century 21 did release a couple of items. The Angel Interceptor was one that I do know about, and we do have 1 or 2 of those available on the website. There was also a Captain Scarlet figure, which we have managed to acquire one of those, and we will be doing videos, and that will be available soon on the website. But generally, there wasn't a great deal of merchandise until Dinky produced the Spectrum saloon car, the SPV, and the maximum security vehicle, the MSV. I don't think they'd done any others. I think it was just those 3 that they'd done from Captain Scarlet. And then again, when the TV series returned to mainstream television in the 90s, then I think it was Vivid produced quite a lot of merchandise, all the miniature figures. They even done the cloud-based play set, and lots of the vehicles, the play vehicles, the die-cast vehicles, and there was also the electronic ones that would talk when you press the button. So there was a lot of merchandise released later on, but back in the 60s it was quite limited on merchandise, and the merchandise was quite expensive really back in the day. But the annuals was a very big thing. I've digressed again, but the annuals was a very, very, very big thing, and they did sell very well, as with all the television annuals of the time. Now we're talking 56 years since this was released, 1968 to 2024. 56 years has passed since this annual was released. Now, trying to find these annuals now is getting harder and harder. You can pick them up on the platforms, on the internet platforms. They do come up. It is all about quality on the internet platforms, though, so just be wary of the quality of the book that you're buying, because when you sell on a platform, it's you that decides the quality, not anybody else. So you decide whether it's new, light new, good, very good, acceptable. Is up to you, whoever's listing the item. So there's a very, very broad gap between what one person would consider to be acceptable and one person would consider to be very good. So just be a little bit wary if you're buying on the platforms. But finding these annuals now is very, very difficult. Getting very much harder, especially in condition like this one, which is excellent condition for a 66-year-old annual. 56-year-old annual. So they're becoming harder and harder. But as usual, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Gerry Anderson items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.